It is Friday, May 15th in the United States and Canada. The Vegas Golden Knights are in the Western Conference Final, although you heard it from us, not them, famously. And this is a show called What Chaos from the Sports Interaction Studios in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is David Bean. I sit beside Pete Blackburn, and holding it down in the city of Olay Chance is Sean DePaz. Hi, boys.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Sean,
Sean,
how
hi.
you doing?
Hi.
What's
Hi.
up? No.
What
Drake
up?
dropped 3 albums.
You like any of them?
Great P-Dub game last night.
Any of them even good?
I listened to 2 of them. There's some good songs on Iceman. The other one, Habibti, I think, or something like that. Not Drake's best. You know,
Interesting.
That's
You were
how I
listening.
expect that.
Interesting you were listening to Iceman last night when I think people are about ready to make that UPL for Ike Howard trade.
Yeah, that's good. Nice. That's pretty good, honestly. I've only seen people clowning the Buffalo Sabres and the Drake albums. People are clowning Drake to the ends of the earth based off of what I've seen.
I feel like a lot of people are going to drown. Or I feel like a lot of people are going to clown Drake without having listened to the music.
There's
If I'm being honest.
You're going to hate this comparison, but there's some Lena Dunham there where it's like the internet has decided this is the person we make fun of. So regardless of what they've done, we're making fun of this person.
Yeah.
I don't condone it, but I think that Drake does definitely get that.
Sean, the chat's saying you're a little quiet. I don't know if
Yeah.
you can bump yourself up.
I did.
I will say you should give an edible arrangement to the Arizona Cardinals today because
Jesus Christ, dude.
they are way more embarrassing than the Sabres, regardless of what happened in last night's game. The Arizona Cardinals release schedule thing was the worst piece of content I think I've ever seen a team release.
Yeah, I agree. It was awful. There were some good moments in schedule release videos yesterday. Did you see the Bills one?
The Bills one I liked. It was extremely derivative of I think you should leave, but it was good. And it featured Bill Fichtner.
I don't know.
It did.
Fans
It did.
Care about William Fichtner.
It was. Did
Never
you see
said
it?
anything about Bills
did not.
fans. I never said Bills fans love William Fichtner.
Oh, it was
I don't know about
the
Sabres fans, but Bills fans.
it was essentially the car focus group where they're thinking of what they should do, and Josh Allen keeps saying a giant chrysalis, and they end up
Great song by Empire of the Sun.
chrysalis.
Yeah.
When I hear chrysalis, I think of Butterflies by Casey Musgraves.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good one, too. I don't really have a lot of time for NFL schedule release videos. I'll watch like 2 or 3 per year.
Max.
And I watched the Cardinals one and I watched the Jets one. And the Jets one was fun. It was just like color mixing.
I saw
I did
one
like that
get
one, yeah.
shit on. I thought it was fine. It
thought
was,
it was
it was a scroll stopper,
Yeah.
for sure. I saw. I mean, I always watch the Chargers one. They usually
Did you see
have
the
best.
Titans?
No, I'm mad at the Titans because they made that one awesome video, and that's why all this happens now.
Yeah, that's fair. But the Titans was good. They just went around to random people that kind of vaguely looked like the various like CJ Stroud, like the quarterbacks or star players, or just random people that were wearing the jerseys. So they went up to like this one random white guy, kind of short guy, and was like, "Oh, Myles Garrett," and then they just would do side by side pictures. It was pretty good. I'm not doing it justice, but the Titans usually bring it. But like you said, that is why we're in this mess.
Okay, we have a packed show today, multiple guests. So Pete, tell the folks what's on it.
Today on the show, let us discuss. The party was nice.
The party was nice.
Was nice.
There you go.
Party was nice. I'm assuming that's about the Buffalo Sabres because the party used to be nice.
Exactly. Well, last night the party was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice for a time.
I will say, thank God we had our watch party for Game 4 and not Game 5.
Yeah.
That would have been horrendous vibes. Horrendous vibes.
It's
You're
also,
telling
of
me.
course, a Baha Men tie-in. We've
Yes.
got a Who Let the Dogs Out update.
We sure do. Silence is golden. Derogatory. That's a really good one. Golden Knights didn't speak after winning their series. Silence is golden. You stink. TonBoyMax is going to join the show. And also, the Avs goal horn guy is going to join the show later in the day. That is incredible. And from the horn's mouth, that's the horn guy.
So TonBoyMax is going to join the show. And then From the horns' mouth, Mickey, whatever. From the horse's mouth. We're getting the Avs horn guy, Brandon Mestis, is going to be on the show. We found that guy very easily because right after the show, you all sent us a video that was like, the news did exactly what you want to do. So
they did it before the Avs clinched, though, which is like ahead of schedule, almost like 2 ahead of schedule.
What did they know? What was the script? Let's talk about the Sabres chunking Game 5 at home. A pivotal Game 5 in Buffalo. If you didn't watch it, let me summarize it for you. The Buffalo Sabres at home took a lead 3 separate times in the first period and lost convincingly. All you need to know?
That's a very brief elementary summary, but yes, that is a very good way to start off the discussion.
It gets you thinking, what the fuck is wrong with them? And I'll tell you what the fuck is wrong with them. We'll go to Sean in a second, but I texted you boys. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to text you separately, but I saw that Sean was actually active in the group chat because you asked, Sean, are you alive?
That's how bad it was, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, you were like, I'll talk to these fuckers. That was...
And we arrived separately at the same conclusion.
Biggest asshole performance of the playoffs, non-Edmonton division. And honestly, possibly even overall division. Biggest asshole performance of the playoffs.
I think like all things considered, probably. Probably the most disappointing and asshole performance of the entire playoffs. It felt like Montreal did everything that they could to give Buffalo that game early in the first period. And the Buffalo Sabres just kept fucking handing it back. And then over the course of that game, Montreal said, all right, if you're going to hand it to us, we will absolutely take this and we will absolutely embarrass you. And the Sabres did a million different things to embarrass themselves. And now I just feel like we are asking a lot of questions about what this team is, what they have in their DNA. And I don't want to overreact to one game, obviously, but it is worth pointing out, we've been saying all along, you need to lose before you learn how to win. And there just felt inevitable that we were going to come up against a point where it was very clear that the Sabres have not been here before and they needed things to learn. And last night felt like that coming to the surface.
Give it to me, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, that was embarrassing. It was, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It brought me to a very dark place. Similar to Pete, I don't want to overact based off of one game, but I certainly was last night. It felt like, I don't know. It made me feel like the Sabres were very, very far away. Like for them to be able to play a game like that at home in that situation is a tough pill to swallow. Particularly considering that it was like all of their best players' fault. And that is for some of them, Alex Tuch, that's kind of been the case for a lot of the playoffs. And then in this series in particular, like Tage and Dahlin have kind of gone a little ghost, minus Tage's incredible, all-time top 50 all-time goals in history, up there with like the Ovi goal, I would say, like that,
Best goal of the last 3 nights for sure.
Yeah, certainly. But yeah, I mean, it was just really bad. It was really sad seeing Sabres, like the Sabres fan base, completely turn on everybody. But I can't say they didn't deserve it a little bit. I don't know. I guess they still have to lose another game for this shit to really be over. So anything is possible, I suppose. But I don't feel very good. It was very sad. But I guess I knew this was coming at some point. I just didn't think it was going to be like that.
I'm surprised how over it feels after last night.
I don't think it's over.
I don't necessarily, I do not think that it's over, but I'm surprised at how much it feels that way today.
Well,
and I think a big part of it is obviously, Sean, you mentioned the Sabres' best players have been their worst players. And I'll say that with the caveat that Connor Timmins is not one of the Sabres' best players.
Yeah,
and he
that's a very good
absolutely
point.
Stinks. Tage, I have a huge problem with Tage, especially last night. I know everybody's shitting all over Alex Tuch, and I get it because he has 0 points this series and he's a -8. You want $11 million a year, you're going to have to show up in the second round, especially after you led the team in points in the first round. But Tage last night showed me fucking absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I showed you something.
He showed me stupid penalties again.
That is a thing.
Again. His effort level last night was terrible. Terrible. And I get that he's hurt, but his effort level last night was fucking embarrassing. Was not blocking shots, was not even like getting to any dirty areas, was not boxing out, was not skating hard. He had a breakaway, which I felt like was the turning point of the game. And Marty St. Louis said this after the game. The Tage breakaway where he was all alone on Dobej and like barely shot the puck. That felt like, oh, brother, what do we got here? And outside of Tuch, Dahlin also looks like an idiot. Like all of their guys who are supposed to be their leaders look like second-class players.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was that that was my big reaction to all of that was that like it's like this is one of those teams where like, you know, you have like one of your best players is kind of a guy who just is like off, does his own thing, maybe doesn't wear a letter or something like that. Like the best players on this team are the guys that are supposed to be the leaders on the team, and respect to them, I guess, are largely responsible for the season getting to this point in the first place. Like, for them to do all that, and yeah, like the Tage and Dahlin continuously taking the dumbest penalties I have ever seen, like 2 back-to-back games with Tage taking really stupid cross-checking penalties for no reason, and it biting the team in the ass. So like that's the stuff that's tough to swallow, because like I get, you know, it's one thing to not put up points because you're hurt or whatever, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's unrealistic or whatever, because like I can't play hockey. I don't fucking know. Like I don't know how hurt they might actually be and how much that might actually affect. But to not try and to be doing stuff like dumb mental things, that's the stuff that I have a tough time with when they're supposed to be leaders. So yeah, it was very disappointing. It made me feel like like I said, they're very like, you know, that you think about like they missed out on Parayko or they missed out on Robert Thomas, and like how much that would. It seems like they're a lot farther away than that when stuff like that happens. This
very much feels like Zach Benson's team. It feels like it's got to be Zach Benson's team. He's constantly in the thick of it. I feel like this team runs through him from an energy perspective and from a performance perspective.
I mean, I feel like I've made this comparison before. It feels to me like Brady Tkachuk in the Olympics or really any time on Team USA, when like if nobody else is showing up, at least you can guarantee that Brady Tkachuk is like getting into the corners and trying, and like does a little something. Yeah, and then like Sabres fans love to shit all over Owen Power. He's been one of the team's best players, and that his leg looked really bad last night. That was a very weird slow motion. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's very tough when your best players are being your worst players, like you said.
I don't think it's over, but I do think when you're in the playoffs and a goalie is bad, the dumbest thing you can do is let them get good. And that's what they did last night. There was shades of 2019 Jordan Binnington to Jakub Dobej yesterday, where they got 3 past him in the first. It needed to be 5. Seriously, like they did not score in a 3-goal first period. They did not score enough goals on Jakub Dobej. They didn't get to the point where Martin St. Louis, who talked about how he let his goaltending coach make the call, should I yank this guy or not? It was a 3-2 game. They were like, fuck it, let's leave our starting goalie in. And he was good early in that second period. It was like, okay, well, I guess we've got a game here. And then it was all Habs the rest of the way. So now you come out of it. And I saw some stuff about like, this is why you don't play UPL in this game. If you weren't going to play UPL in that game last night, after what he did in game 4, you can join the New York Times guy, go to space and don't come back. UPL abso-fucking-lutely earned that game. And
you don't see him again in the series, though.
I don't think you see him again the rest of the series. And I think that, did I tell you
again,
this?
Period.
I'm not the only person who has floated the trading UPL thing. Like that is an increasingly commonly held, I don't want to say belief or whatever, but like idea. And I think that last night, granted, Twitter was flooded. All I could see was like sending Alex Tuch Chinese lessons, but everyone's focused on like get rid of Alex Tuch. He's going to play in China next year. There was also a lot of, granted, everyone's passionate and emotional, but there was a lot of give me UPL's $4.75 million in cap space.
I mean, my problem with the Ike Howard UPL thing was not necessarily trading UPL alone. It was in part what they were getting back for it. A.
Got to replace Alex Tuch.
I don't know. Sure. I don't know. What is UPL's value at this point? Like, I don't know. Well, first off, if you're the Edmonton Oilers, do you want another goalie who's wildly inconsistent, who has incredibly high highs and incredibly low lows? Yeah. Like, have fun with that.
He's paid like a backup goaltender, though, isn't he? Like, he's making like
$5 million. He's paid like a tandem guy.
Yeah,
4.75. Yeah. That's like good tandem.
That's like backup goaltender money at this point. Like
it might be. Yeah, I'd have to check. I mean, like the straight up starting goalies make $8 million. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all, but it is started goalie money when you're paying that and also paying whatever else you have to pay Tristan Jarry, assuming you're getting rid of him in this situation.
That's neither
if you're not
here nor there. I didn't mean to make that about that hypothetical trade, but I made it, or I said it to say, it was a whole lot of get this guy off my team last night, and I didn't see Logan Stanley's name in there, so I don't think Sean was participating. There was a lot of this is why you don't sign Tuch. I disagree with that. There was a lot of Tage isn't really a center. This is why you need to go get Tage cannot be the face of your offense. I disagree with that. There was a lot of, I guess those two. I guess Tuch and Tage were drawing the most ire, and I think that I'm more frustrated with Tage Thompson than I am with Alex Tuch. If anything, Pete brought it up last night. Hey, maybe Alex Tuch is hurting his price tag. Maybe it's going to be
9
or instead of 10. I did have that loaded for after they scored their second goal to go up 2-1, they gave up another goal 9 seconds later. Like, Jesus. But, Sean, I might be able to cheer you up. Okay?
Oh, boy.
I was rewatching the game this morning, having a blast, and I caught something that I didn't realize Pete also caught, texted us about it yesterday, and was like, whole lot of shit happened after that first goal. Didn't know what he was talking about. I thought that he meant that the teams continue to score 500 goals. But we have got an amazing what are we looking at here? And you could just press play now because it's got the what are we looking at here intro. Look at that image in which Mike Matheson is bent over an official. Here's the goal. Now watch the ref.
Another early goal for the Buffalo Sabres.
So Texier loses his stick. Ref falls over it and then kind of low bridges Mike Matheson.
I feel did it hit him in the face? Like somebody got cross-checked in the face. Their like stick was up or something and hit the official. The official falls into was it Mike Matheson?
Yep.
Yeah. Like 9,000 things happened in the weirdest sequence ever after that first goal.
I needed more angles of that. That was TNT. Sportsnet didn't have Sportsnet cut away from it right away. They're protecting the refs.
I was in the process of cutting that and posting that to Twitter to be like, I think I was going to post it with what are we looking at here? And then by the time I cut it and was ready to post it, like 3 more goals had happened. And I was like, nobody gives a shit about this anymore. So I just fucking held on to it.
Chad asks if Mike Matheson was Eiffel Tower.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
These are the questions that hockey asks of us. Let's get to our first guest. We met this guy in Montreal, went on his stream during Game 4, and just Michael Scott, Charles Minor, we dug each other's vibe. I don't know if this guy likes us. I think he does because he says he's a whatnot, but
he was in the chat.
We are huge fans. I've even learned how to say his name. I call him TonBoyMax because that's his nickname, but his name is Maxime Van Houtte. Folks, welcome Max to the show. What up, buddy?
How are my painfully favorite straight dudes doing today?
Painfully straight. Sean's okay.
Feeling good. I got no dog in this fight, so like I cannot be hurt. I understand Sean's pain. I'm sure you're feeling very good this morning.
Oh, we're feeling good. We're feeling good. Kind of tough of you guys to welcome a Montrealer
for Sean today. That's not cool for my man Sean, man. You could have had me after the Sabres won Game 4. That would have been... Actually, that's kind of nice of Sean for letting me come in after a Montreal win. But yeah, the vibes are good. The vibes are good here. And just before I start, thank you so much for having me, boys. And to all the chat, hello. And I apologize for my rudimentary English in the coming minutes. So
That's
very good
okay.
English.
We are to make an obvious joke, we barely speak that language ourselves. We are more of a bilingual show these days. But yeah, we went on your stream. First thing you brought up was Anjin de Poitrine. I was like, this is my fucking guy. And we had a great time. It was intermission of Game 4. And you've got a great audience. Your whole show is in French, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I guess now we can say 1% English thanks to you guys. But no, it's a French show. It's very Quebecois, as you would say. But we do a bit of Franglish. You know, Montreal is known for its Franglish. The whole bonjour hi you guys took up while you were here, I don't know if you noticed, but it was quite controversial about, I don't know, I want to say 10 years ago. So
Really?
it's quite Franglish, but still not that much yet.
Oh, I know they have the thing in Montreal. I don't know if it still exists where if you do not speak French, you need to take French lessons. And if you have kids and stuff and are like, I don't have time for French lessons. I've got to watch my kids. They're like, the government is like, no, like we will provide daycare for your kids. You are learning French. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, well, it's a bit more complicated than that. But yeah, it's called La Loi 101 law, which my history classes are kind of far, but I want to say somewhere in the 50s and the 60s, whatever. If you look at pictures of Montreal like 50 years ago, like all the front of the stores and all that, it was all in English. And so it was made to make sure that we don't lose our language. So, I mean, that can be controversial to some people. But hey, man, we're a small village in the up north corner of North America. We need to protect our language, boys.
Well, the only language that we're worried about right now is Sean's because that guy is swearing. He's saying, shit, my team is going to lose because of the Montreal Canadiens. And I know that Pete took the temperature and he said that vibes are good there right now. But do you feel like the Canadiens are the better team? Certainly in the driver's seat of the series. But knowing that the Dobej thing after last night got a little straightened out, do you feel like this team is primed to win this series?
Yes, and I hate it. I hate it because the Sabres are a very, very good team. And so, as you say, I do streams during the game, and then I talk to the people after the game. It's a call-in show, and people are pretty much, this series is over. And I'm is pragmatic also a word in English?
Yeah. Oh, we use it all the time.
Yeah, so I'm a pragmatic guy, like we'll cross the river once we'll cross the river. I don't care that Alex Tuch is hibernating or something, that Tage Thompson is more interested in taking stupid penalties, and like, this is a very, very good hockey team. I do not like taking it for granted, but it does feel to me like something shifted, and it shifted after the Josh Anderson goal, I feel. And I was listening to you guys before I came in, and I think it's Pete, you said that, you need to gain some experience in the playoff. And to me, this is why, like, I'm going to believe in the Sabres next year. I did not believe that much in the Sabres this year because I do believe that you need one playoff run. I don't care if it's 5 game like the Habs last year. You need to get punched in the face once. You need to know how it feels. And the Sabres didn't get punched in the face enough by the Boston Bruins in the first round. Now they're getting punched in the face by the Habs. And to me, it was kind of weird how, like, the Josh Anderson goal yesterday was the one that tied the game. That game was still tied. And the Sabres deflated from there on. Like, it was like they got an uppercut to the face and they couldn't fight back through it. And I think, to me, that's the biggest difference between Montreal and Buffalo in this series, is that somehow, even though they only had 5 games last year against the Washington Capitals, and yes, they had an amazing first round from a experience perspective against the Lightning, where the freaking series was a 1-goal series, a 1-goal game at almost all time, but they gained a lot of experience, and I feel like it shows. I feel like Montreal is never out, and I think it starts from Martin St. Louis, because you talked about how they didn't brought out Jakub Dobeš yesterday, and I was the second the third goal went in, I was like, get him out. I love Dobeš, but get him out. It's that type of game. The third goal was I don't know what's your term in English for a very bad goal, but it was a Christmas tree. That's how we say it in France.
A stinker.
Jesper Wallstedt.
A stinger, yeah, exactly. Yes. So like I was like, no, man, take him out. And Marty St. Louis stays the course. And he's always like this. Like Lindy Ruff is an experienced coach. He tried to disturb after game 4, saying Montreal are falling easily, which I unfortunately kind of agreed with him. I think game 4, like 3 players, Dahlin and Evans, and I want to say Alex Newhook, threw their stick after a high stick. I'm like, 3 guys did this in a game? What is this? But St. Louis, when he was asked about it, he was like, if I focus on the ref, I'm not doing my job. And that's the way he's been coaching all through the playoff. It's the classic never too high, never too low. And I feel like it starts from him and goes to the team. It goes through Nick Suzuki, who is developing into an amazing captain. And right now, I'm searching for the leaders in Buffalo. To me, this is the big difference, is that Montreal's leaders act like no matter what the score is, no matter where we are in the game, this game is still theirs to win. And I didn't feel that from Buffalo after the moment the Habs tied the game yesterday. I feel like the second half of the game was all Montreal yesterday.
So when you said Christmas tree, is that something that in French you would say Christmas tree for a bad goal? Because we and the chat have absolutely decided we're calling bad goals Christmas trees.
It's just is a Christmas tree a pine tree?
Yeah.
So I guess it's just the real term is just pine tree, like a sapin. You say a sapin, so it's a pine tree. You let through a pine tree.
What's the origin of that?
Christmas tree properly. That's a good question.
Because like it was a tree instead of a goalie, maybe.
Yeah, that's
perhaps.
Maybe it's just my dad also, because I was a goalie growing up, and my dad would say, "Don't let in a pine tree or a zizette," which is a whole other term. That maybe you're gonna like that one.
It is interesting that you bring up like the fact that the Canadiens never feel like they're out of a game, and the belief is like always there, because we talked about when we went to the game in game 3, and Tage Thompson scores immediately early on in that game, and the Sabres keep scoring very early in a lot of these games. And when we were in the Bell Center, there was never like a dead silence or never like a lack of energy after giving up an early goal, because I just feel like the Habs always have a belief in themselves and always have sort of this attachment to we're not out of a game. And it felt that way last night, even though they kept trying to give it to the Sabres and the Sabres kept trying to hand it back. How much of that is like coaching? How much of that is just what you've seen over the course of the season?
Well, I think it got built through the season. I don't know, like if you guys remember the start of the season when they were nicknamed the Cardiac Habs. Like the team started the year, like the mood to start the year here in the province was, okay, we made the playoff last year. We did not expect them to make the playoff. This year was supposed to be like through the rebuild was supposed to be the year we get in the playoff. Like for the first time, we were supposed to have that first run. It happened last year. So at the start of the season, the mood was like, okay, let's prove last year was no fluke. There was still not an idea of getting higher in the standing. It was still, you know what, let's get through the wild cards. Let's prove that we're here now. We're a good wild card team. And then the season started and they were just winning all of their freaking games in overtime. They were down 2 goals in the third period. And like, they were stupid kids, like they were the Stranger Things kid, like way in over their head. Cole Caulfield was scoring all of his goal at 3-on-3. And so it started from there and got built into throughout the season that this team is never really out of any game. And I think that it's transported itself into the playoffs, into the mentality of the team that, hey guys, we are never out. And it's something that is particular for Habs fans because, if you're anywhere below the age of 40, like, this being the Habs fan experience is we're either an average team or a bad team, but we have a stellar goaltender. It started in 2002 with Jose Theodore's crazy MVP run. There was the Halak 2010 spring, and then there were the Carey Price years for a gazillion year. But that was it. Even Marc Bergevin, the general manager, like if I had $1 for every time Marc Bergevin said, well, the goal is to make the playoff, and then with Carey Price, anything can happen. Well, I would have probably exactly $10, which is not a lot, but considering he was there 10 years, he said this every year. You never had a real team in which you believe, stacked with talent. Carey Price had 1 point per game teammate his whole career. It was his rookie year. And now suddenly out of nowhere, like your stellar rookie Ivan Demidov is just one of the guys. And any other moment in the last 25 years, that guy come in and he's like Jesus Christ. Like surely the best player that you're going to have for the next 20 years. He probably will be, but right now he's just one of them. And I think this is it. It comes from the fact that the fans have never had this much talent at all the position on defense, on offense, and what was supposed to be your Achilles heel goaltending. Well, Dobesh is stellar. So
First things first. Pronunciation of Marc Bergevin is incredible.
Say that over and over again for the rest of my fucking life, brother.
Incredible. And last night when Demidov went off and had, I think, his first multi-point game, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like Demidov's not really too much of a part of this yet. And that to me is probably the scariest part for where this series is because the Sabres' best players are playing like shit. And the Canadiens' best players are not playing their best, but it hasn't really mattered.
Off of that, and I like the point that you guys brought up about just like the team's never out of a game. I'll say this is the only team I can think of, maybe the Ducks at a couple of points, that have won games in which they should have gotten smoked or did get smoked. Like they should have lost that game last night. Sabres fucked around, let them back in it, and they won it. They should have. They lost Game 7. Yeah. They straight up lost Game 7 and are in this series. And that is a great feather in this team's cap because in the playoffs, there are games where you're like, fuck, you know what? We really should have had that one. We let it slip away. And it'll happen once or twice over the course of a playoff run. And you really got to make up for it. The Canadiens I look at, they're always the team that are like, don't know how we got that one, but that's pretty nice. In addition to earning all of their other wins. So that's great. Off of the Demidov and the how he can fit in amongst all these guys, I want to ask you a question that we kicked around. Who is the Canadiens' best player? I have an answer, but I feel like there are different candidates.
You want my answer or the consensus?
Give me consensus and then yours, and say Marc Bergevin during it.
So my pick is still an incredible trade made by Marc Bergevin when he acquired Nick Suzuki from the Vegas Golden Knights. I think this year has been Nick Suzuki's coming out party. Like, to me, what Nick Suzuki did in the Lightning series, I feel like Alexander Barkov does this, and the whole NHL is there. There you go. Another proof of how this is the most complete player in the world. A series in which he didn't really do anything offensively. He still found ways to, shut down offensive players. I mean, he sealed the series with the block shot. And to me, this is why I'm still going to consider Nick Suzuki, because he does it all. He's the team captain. He's the quiet leader. He blocks shots. He wins his face-off. Something that we talk a lot about in Montreal. I don't know if it's a talking point anywhere else in the NHL, but, technically, the Habs shouldn't be that hard to play against because we still don't have a number 2 centerman. Like Ivan Demidov on his line, he's played all year with Oliver Kapanen, and you don't see it. I have what? Give me a second. Wait. Like, no disrespect to Oliver Kapanen. I mean, I lost a freaking bet this year, and I have a Oliver Kapanen jersey to show.
That we've got way worse. Don't worry.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know. But so we still technically don't have a second line. So, and this is what Tampa tried to do, by the way. They were like, hey, you know what? We're going to shut down your one line and your one offensive line. And if the rest of the team beats us, all good. And that's what happened. So technically it's not tough to play against Nick Suzuki. You're like, yeah, shut that down his line. It's over. And he still does everything he does. So my answer is Nick Suzuki. But if Lane Hudson ain't already him, I think starting next year, I think, is it Johnny Lazarus last night who tweeted that, you have to start considering him a top 5 player in the league. And honestly, at this point, I've been saying for a few months now that if anybody still has the narrative, that dwarf can't defend. He's just an offensive mastermind. You're not watching. Like, that dude has the heart, the size of the arena. He has the brain the size of the arena. He's using that brain to defend. It's never going to be his primary skill. He's never going to be Hart Trophy winner Chris Pronger on defense. But he is not like, I don't know, like before he came and you guys watched him in Boston, but you were like, okay, is he going to be like Shane Gostisbehere, like type of player, like that he's strictly a power play quarterback and get him out of the ice anytime else? And no, bro is a game changer. Like I was talking about the Josh Anderson goal yesterday, but how does he, at this point, already in his second season, like completely breaks Alex Tuck ankle, does the play that he's done a gazillion time already. I'm faking inside. No, I'm outside. Completely takes Tuck out of the play and then serves that dish like through 5 guys to Josh Anderson that anybody else does that play. You're like, lucky pass. But a Lane Hudson type player, you're like, no, that's no lucky pass. That's exactly what he wanted to do. So I'm still Nick Suzuki, not too far away from here. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to say Lane Hudson. And then maybe 2 years from now, Ivan Demidov's going to be in the mix.
Okay,
I'm
things.
Sorry, I talk so long sometimes when I talk
That's
in
okay.
English.
We
That's
all
why
do
you're
it
here.
That's
thing.
okay.
Feel free
two
to
things.
interrupt me anytime.
I cannot find the Johnny Lazarus Lane Hudson tweet, but I can find the Johnny Lazarus. I don't care if Carey Price is in net. 3 goals on the first 5 shots. I'm yanking the goalie tweet.
Yeah.
That's okay.
First 4 shots.
I agree
Yeah, it
with
was
him at
4.
that
Yeah,
moment.
so he was a little late there. And the other thing is, my answer is not a trade made by Marc Bergevin. It was a year after he was fired. I believe Kent Hughes made this trade. Traded a defenseman called Brett Kulak. Do you know how the Montreal Canadiens got Lane Hudson?
Yeah, it's
No.
pretty cool like trade tree.
Traded Brett Kulak to the Oilers for a 2nd-round pick.
Pretty good deal.
There's one of those for fucking
Yeah.
every player, every good player in the NHL was somehow given away by some fucking asshole in Edmonton. But it wasn't Bergevin, it was Ken Hughes.
You still got to be smart
Yeah,
enough
he
to
was
draft the guy. Like everybody had a pass at him in the first round. They didn't take him because he was undersized.
Too small.
I was always FBI Lane Hudson, and Lane Hudson's your answer, right?
Lane Hudson is my answer.
I was always FBI Lane Hudson, but I did not think that Lane Hudson would be this good, especially not this quickly.
This early.
And he is just, he falls into the Quinn Hughes category for me, where like obviously he doesn't have the size and the physicality that you want in some of your defensemen, but the way that he manipulates games and takes over games, I think that there's maybe 2 or 3 players on the back end that are able to do it to the degree that those 2 players can do it. And it is magnificent to watch. And hockey's obviously a team sport, but there are certain guys who can absolutely take over and completely shift the momentum of games. And Lane Hudson did that as a rookie and continues to do it this year. And it is just absolutely unbelievable to watch. I can't wait to continue to see what that player becomes over the next however many years.
Max.
And he does it night in, night out. That's the great
Yeah.
part.
I mean, Pete's point is very true for me as well. I didn't think, when people were talking about, hey, maybe Lane Hudson called her last year, remember at the beginning of the year, I was like, is Lane Hudson going to play that much? And shows
We
what I
weren't
know.
sure if he was going to start in the NHL. The talk of training camp was Laval or Montreal. And I went to rookie camp. I went to the first day of rookie camp at the Habs training facility. And first practice, I was like, oh, that dude's starting. He shouldn't even have been on the ice. You know what he does in his little square at the blue line? He was doing that to rookies, and you were like, that is unfair, completely unfair. And then it was just going up from there.
He's fucking amazing, as are you, Max. And we're not done with you.
man.
We'll go on your show anytime you want. I know it's probably confusing because it's a French show, but we will learn French to go on your show more. And I believe, have you talked to Amil? I think we might be doing something together next week.
Yeah, Emil's has been texting me. Can you do me a favor though?
Yes.
Please try and say José Théodore now. I want to hear it.
José Théodore.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to hear the English version. I miss hearing that name on the daily.
Well, there was the Patrice Bergeron Cleary scored his first playoff goal against José Théodore. I was in the last row at whatever the Garden was called at the time, and it was one of those moments where you're like, wow, Boston Bruins are going to beat the Montreal Canadiens, and the Canadiens won that series. That's how it used to go.
Yeah, and it was not supposed to happen. See, that was the Habs experience for the past. Like, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and I was like, I think this is the first time in my life that the Habs are in the second round, and I'm not already in a, hey, it's been fun mode. Like, if we get further, cool, but not necessary to my enjoyment of the season. Like, even 2014 with Prime Carey wasn't this, because, like, our best forward that year, I think, might have been Pacioretty, but I think it was David Desharnais who had like 50 points.
Yeah.
Like, it was always just like, hey, man, if Carey Price stands on his head, we're going to get somewhere. But this is the first time that this is a team that is very good and that can get further. And the crazy part is that technically, we never know what can happen. Technically, this is the worst they're going to be for the next 6 years.
Plekanec had a good series in 2014 too.
Fun, so.
Don't sleep on Plekanec, and Dale Weiss, famously way more consequential in that series than anyone wanted him to be.
And still alive.
Still alive. Milan Lucic did not get the job done. But yeah, we will talk to you soon. Goes without saying, chat was obsessed with you. So we appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you, boys. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
Hell yeah. Au revoir. Bye. Breaking news from Michael Russo at Wild Breakup Day. Nick Foligno has said he is looking for a little less than Kirill Kaprizov, like $16 million. So we will see what ends up happening there. Before we get to our next guest, because we have a very good guest waiting, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Ducks last night, eliminated them, and then acted like little B words, can we say. The Golden Knights eliminated the Ducks with a dominant 5-1 win on the road in Game 6. The highlight came early, in which Mitch Marner began yet another impressive night with, do you have the goal, Sean?
Yes, I do.
With this.
Yeah. Just natural sounds? Love that.
Look at the position of Carlson, and in one motion, there's Mitch Marner. And look at the end of this goal. No, not here, right
So
there.
nasty.
What a beautiful play there by Carlson to recognize he's got a second. Gets his head up, sees Marner streaking right down the middle. And what a skilled play
Get a good
there
look,
by
Jackson.
Marner between the legs.
Seriously, we got to
It's
ask some questions.
It all, like, I texted after, I was like, that was the sickest thing I've ever seen, and that was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. And I cannot fault Jackson Lacombe or Lukasz Dostal there, but like,
You can a little
that
bit.
really could have not happened.
I mean, he could have not ended up past the goal line.
Yep. It really could have not happened.
I will say, and like you said it early on, right after the Oilers series, maybe pump the brakes on the Jackson Lacombe love parade, because the Oilers were the zombie Oilers. He had some really tough moments.
Came back to earth this series, which, if you don't know, Jackson Lacombe coming back to earth is Jackson Lacombe being like a fucking awesome number one defenseman. He's an amazing player. But I think that, yeah, we're doing the like, oh shit. He's like, how is that guy not playing for Team USA? Like, did they fuck up not playing anymore? And like, I don't want any of this to sound negative towards Jackson Lacombe. He's amazing. But yeah, didn't have a great series, but Golden Knights finding themselves. Torts is definitely staying. My Ducks bet isn't looking great. I'll have to check the cash out option on if I can get anything back for the Ducks are going to win the cup. My Lukasz Dostal dark horse for Hart isn't. We go day by day. I'm not going to get too high, not going to get too low on it. But right now, if we had a show due today, I'd say I'm feeling low on it. Other than that, Ducks, life is good.
I guess.
Future's bright. Got punched.
If you had told me that, like, with a week to go in the regular season, that the Vegas Golden Knights would be going to the Western Conference Final and Mitch Marner would be the Conn Smythe favorite and Carter Hart would be like the biggest secondary reason why they're moving past the second round, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm still saying, are you fucking kidding me? But like, Mitch Marner has been a god since like the last couple games of round one. Not only that goal, an unbelievable assist to Brett Howden like a minute later in that game. Like, Mitch Marner has been one of the best players in the entirety of the playoffs. And that is just stunning to me. And I'm on Team Elliott Friedman at this point. Stop making it about the fucking Maple Leafs. He was bad. He was bad in the playoffs with the Maple Leafs. Just fucking get over it. He's not bad anymore.
Get off the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Please. I'm sick of it. I've hit my point where like I get you want to point out that he was bad on the Leafs. He's not bad anymore. Two things can be true. Fucking get over it.
I'm also seeing people being like, well, yeah, now that they've dimmed the lights, he's playing really well. Now that there's less, I think it was Young Gritty in our group chat who said this. Like, yeah, now that there's not so much pressure on him, he's playing well. Where'd the pressure come from? You. Don't do that. And I mean, he deserves all the fucking criticism that he got for his playoff performance. He was not invisible. And yes, he was noticeably bad at points.
And yes, he ran away from the Maple Leafs. And when he ran away from the Maple Leafs, I was like, it's probably for the best that he ran away from the Maple Leafs. For both the Maple Leafs and for Mitch Marner. And it turns out that only one of that was true. Maybe. Like, it was good for Mitch Marner. It could have been good for the Leafs. You just won the draft lottery. Probably because you didn't have Mitch Marner. Like, you have Gavin McKenna, probably. He might be amazing. Everybody might win in the end. Shut the fuck up about it, please.
He'll be the first athlete to leave his hometown and be better off for it. Never has a hometown athlete played for their hometown professional team, a local athlete playing for their hometown professional team, and thought, you know what? There's a lot of reasons to not like this. There's some reasons to love it, but there's a lot of reasons to not like it. I think I'll get out of there. I've spoken to countless athletes over the years across basically every sport. I don't talk to baseball players that much who have been like, yeah, the worst years of my career were when I was playing at home. So this is nothing new. It's just extra funny because the Leafs being involved and being so pissy about it and going through what they're going through right now. Although, as you said, they do have the first overall pick. On the Carter Hart thing, a little bitch move by him last night. Huh?
Oh, yanking off the
Pops
the
the
mask.
skate blade.
Oh.
Takes his helmet off.
Yeah. I mean, at that point,
I get like wanting any sort of stoppage, but takes his helmet off so they'll blow the whistle. I wouldn't even say bitch move because like asshole tax, it's a penalty.
Oh yeah.
So he got penalized for it.
It just didn't matter at that point.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So Knights win. After the game, John Tortorella told the media nothing because the Golden Knights just didn't do any availability after the game. And there are rules. You have to speak to the media after the game. The room has to be open for 20 minutes. X amount of players have to be available. They need to be available for X amount of time. This from Sportsnet. If John Tortorella was pleased with his Vegas Golden Knights second round victory against the Anaheim Ducks, he sure wasn't telling reporters about it. The head coach declined to speak with the media after the Golden Knights punched their ticket to the Western Conference Final on Thursday night, per reporters in Anaheim. The team also did not open the dressing room after the win, with just 3 players speaking with the media, Brett Howden and Mitch Marner at the podium, and one who was brought to a side room as they approached the podium. A grinning Howden and Marner said the team bus was going to leave in 10 minutes. Jack Eichel, who did not register a point in the 5-1 win, spoke with TNT's Chris Mason on the ice shortly after the game ended. Neither the Golden Knights nor Tortorella provided an official explanation as to why they ducked reporters. I reached out to Golden Knights media relations. That's the end of that story. Now, this is me speaking as DJ. I reached out to the Golden Knights media relations this morning, asking, like, are you guys going to say anything official on this? Is there a reason as to why this happened? Haven't heard back, given them the benefit of the doubt that they'll say something when they say something, but add it to the list of, well, why the fuck did you do that Golden Knights thing? And I know I said there are non-Carter Hart signing reasons to be annoyed with this team. As I've said before, Carter Hart was always going to sign with an NHL team. There was going to be crazy lawsuits, I'm sure, if no team signed him. But Vegas Golden Knights, when they were like turning people away for fucking asking questions about it, was when I'm like, okay, like you were going to get shit for this, but now you're just inviting so much more shit for it. And then they just make these decisions and they do these things. The bus was going to leave. Were you not going to be allowed to take? Was like the airport going to be closed?
I actually did see someone speculate that that's what it was, because apparently there's a noise ordinance at Long Beach Airport that doesn't allow flights to leave after 11 p.m. or something like that. I don't know if that's actually true, but I did see somebody actually try to suggest that was the reason for it.
Then give us that explanation. Then
Yeah,
say
that's why
we
I'm
have to get
not
out of here
inclined to
quick.
believe it.
We're gonna do a fucking Zoom thing in the Torts will do it from the car. Sorry, this is gonna be like anything. Instead of just
Torts
stonewalling
car.
all these reporters who are like, I came to cover this game. I've never seen anything like this. It's just a lot of the shit the Golden Knights catch is avoidable.
This just screams Torts is settling in, because Torts just does weird shit that make people very confused and it like unnecessary. Like when he was in Philly, there were so many moments where we were like, he didn't need to say that. He didn't need to do that. And it just happens with Torts and whatever. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about it. I did find it weird that he did not shake hands. I mean, I guess he went to the bench and shook hands with the Ducks coaching staff, but he didn't do the handshake line. Everybody fucking loves the handshake line. They're going to talk about it if you don't do the handshake line. They're definitely going to talk about it if you don't speak to the media. It seemed like this could have been avoided.
Yeah, chat is saying like, oh, I've experienced this. There's rules about these fights and everything. As I said, then say that. Then say this, hey, sorry, it's a noise ordinance thing. We got to get on the bus and we'll do this to make up for it. But no, actually, because multiple people are available at the same time all the time. So when those guys were coming out to do their 10-minute media availability, Torts goes too. This could have been done better. With more information, I'll let him off the hook, and I too am not going to get too bent out of shape from it, but this could be avoided. This could be handled better. And Golden Knights, I think at this point are like, you know what? Everyone fucking hates us anyway, so fuck all these people.
Lean into it.
Yeah, I guess. All right, let's get to our second guest of the show. Very excited to welcome on. We discussed yesterday more great horn pressing from someone at Ball Arena, because that Avalanche horn is amazing. We have found out who's behind it because, quite frankly, he was on the news. His name is Brandon Mestis. He's the Colorado Avalanche game presentation manager, and he joins us now. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, we're getting a little delay up. Can you pop on some headphones, brother?
1 sec. Let me try to figure this out.
Cool. Sorry about it.
Sorry about that. Let me see real quick.
We'll get back to Brandon. I mean, the chat is like saying the Golden Knights thing. I don't really care all that much. I know people don't care about media stuff, but like, it's just
another
unnecessary.
thing.
Yeah.
It's just another thing. Really weird. How about Max though?
John, how was your experience during the Max interview? Chat was asking if you were like still alive.
Not really. It was a lot. I didn't need to hear any of it. It's all stuff I know. I do find the Nick Suzuki take very interesting because I would have assumed at this point that Lane Hudson was like kind of a unanimous, clear best player on that team.
I love Lane Hudson so much.
Yeah.
He's the fucking coolest.
You know what? Chat's looping back on the Knights thing. Yeah, I'm back to being annoyed. It is their fucking job. Like, why do you get to? I was talking to I do a soccer show on Saturday mornings, and so I'm a freelancer, whatever, for it, and I had to do some sort of like one of those fucking training videos where you watch a thing and then you click answers and that shit. And I hate that. And it's like a main reason why I made this my job, because I can't do the happy horseshit bullshit thing. And I was saying, because they were saying like, you got to finish this thing or else like you actually might get fired from this job. And I was like, the biggest way in which I'm an asshole is I know that you all have to do this, but I can't do it. I think that I can be the one person that doesn't do it. That makes you an asshole. You're being an asshole there. Every team figures out doing media availability. You're the one that doesn't have to. Kind of being an asshole there. Know what I'm saying? Do we have Brandon?
I am not sure.
I see him.
Yeah, I see him. Looks like he's got some headphones in.
Yeah, 1 sec. I'm just.
Yeah,
All right, he's still efforting.
Oh. Yeah, training modules. I can't do it. It's just, and the thing is, you see the videos, you skip them, and they ask you the questions. They're all really easy questions. I don't need to see a video where it's like, an employee beats up another employee. How long should you wait before you think that employee shouldn't have beat up another employee? And it's like, take your time. It's like, no one cares about that employee.
I used to have to do those like twice a year for CBS. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I work from home.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I work from home and I'm non-confrontational.
Yeah. It was like, what, did you tell me not to yell at my mom? Jesus. They legitimately made me do it like every 6 months. I was like, I'm a blogger who works from my bedroom. This is not meant for me.
Yeah.
Do we want to do a Baha Men update while we wait?
Yes, good call. Do a Baha Men update.
So earlier this week, I incorrectly stated that Who Let the Dogs Out was about ugly women. And boy, I could not have been more off base here.
Because there's no such thing as ugly women.
That's right. No, they definitely exist. And we love them all the same. They're ugly men too. They're ugly people.
Well, when
It's
you say
just
ugly,
the fact
you
of the
mean
matter.
like bad souls, bad hearts. Who's homegirl that South Park said shoots dogs?
Christy
No, it's
Nome?
not South
Christy
Park. That
That's
she
just
said
the-
shoots dogs.
She said that. Yes. The Trinidadian musician Anselm Douglas wrote the song "Who Let the Dogs Out," and he wrote it as a feminist anthem critical of men who catcall women. And so, like, could not have been further off. This is a very, very pro all women song. In fact,
Including
he says,
Christy Nome.
Yes. Who let the dogs out? Shoot that dog.
Oh, God.
This Anselm Douglas says, quote, "It's a man-bashing song. I'll tell you why. The lyric
No
of
hit chat.
the lyric of the song says, quote, the party was nice, the party was pumping." I thought it was bumping.
I thought it was bumping. Can we fact check the writer of the song?
He said the party was nice, the party was pumping.
Yippee-I-O.
When I said the word party, I was being metaphorical. You know, like a songwriter. It's the first metaphor ever.
Did he say that, or did you add that?
No, what? Like a songwriter?
Did he add like the songwriter part?
No, I added that. That was
okay.
editorializing. Apologies. He says, it really means that things were going great. The yippee-I-O part, that's everybody's happy, right? And everybody was having a ball. Life was going great. Until the men start name calling. And then the girls respond to the call. So the men started calling women skank and skettle, every dirty word you can think of. The men started the name calling, and then the girls respond to the call, and then a woman shouts out, "Who let the dogs out?" So the "Who let the dogs out" is coming from the women asking, "Who are these dogs?" And then we start calling men dogs. It was really a man bashing song. End quote.
Damn, isn't lying the best? For the second straight week, I'll do a cool information you've brought to us from like well-reported stuff. We buying that? I'm choosing to buy this. The OHL thing, I was like, bullshit, and you should get called on that bullshit. If, say this wasn't originally about that, and you say now I want to make it about that, good. Good.
It's correcting the narrative.
Correct. I mean, let's do the lyrics. A lot of "Who Let the Dogs Out." Party was nice. Party. You were gonna say what?
Like the lyrics. The lyrics are the lyrics. Like he does say.
Yeah, I tell the fellas. I guess that's until the fellas start the name calling. The girls respond to the call. I heard a woman shout. There was part of it that I saw that made me think maybe that could be a stretch. I forget what it was. Gonna tell myself, "Hey man, no get angry." To any girls calling them canine. That's where I was like, how is exactly this a feminist anthem? If he's saying, I'm telling myself, hey, don't get bent out of shape because these women are calling the men dogs. You know, the narrator.
I mean, verse 1 says, until the fellow started the name calling and the girls responded to the call, I heard a woman shout out.
Yeah, who let the dogs out? So yeah, he's saying I'm at a party, metaphorically, and guys start calling women names, and a woman says, hey, who let the dogs out? Bar, burn, amazing. But then in the second verse, gonna tell myself, hey man, no get angry to any girls calling them canine. Saying like, hey, don't get mad at these women because they're calling these guys dogs. Why you gotta be told that? Why aren't you? Yeah, you're good, but not as good as I decided you could be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like, if we're at a party that's pumping, Sean starts saying some stuff he shouldn't be saying, and someone's like, hey, Sean, fuck that shit. Actually, this would be a bad example because you would side.
We can keep, Pete can stay being the bad guy.
All right, we're there. Someone we don't know who is a man is calling women names, saying like, hey, pretty lady. Hey, mama, why don't you get over here? Stuff like that that's like, hey, the party was fucking pumping, dude. What are you doing? And a woman says, hey, who let the dogs out? If you've got to be like, keep cool, man. Don't get mad at this woman. Then I think you got shit that you need to work on.
Well, obviously, I mean,
but also this was legitimately 2000.
Yeah, and you gotta consider the men being called dogs are already exhibiting bad behavior towards women. We don't know where their line is. So like, get back gruffy, get back scruffy. Don't fly off the handle.
Yeah, I guess it's the narrator's personal struggle with how to react to men being called dogs, because this is and this, to people who don't believe that I don't know, not like 1 bajillion % like macho man, super toxic masculine
song.
Guys like had a weird time growing up around this time. This is like, if I was at a party and someone's saying some stuff and I'm like, hey, yeah, who let the dogs out? People would be like, okay, fucking weenie boy. So I would say this person struggling with how to react to men being called dogs, even though it was rightfully so, I think regrettably that is kind of the average man in 2000.
Yeah,
but he still came out of it with the song that we can now say is a feminine anthem.
Allegedly.
Do we have Brandon?
I believe so. I think we have.
Brandon's quit his job, so he never has to be booked for anything like this again.
Chat is saying that was like the best exhibit of
but it wasn't stalling.
And filibustering ever.
It wasn't stalling. It wasn't filibustering.
That was on
we
the
had
rundown.
breaking news. Yeah, that's something that we had to hit. Brandon Mestis, the Colorado Avalanche game presentation manager. And what does that mean? It means he's the fucking guy that presses the button. He's the guy that presses that horn. And Brandon, we do have, via the news story that we saw this week on you, confirmation that it is a button. It's not a sample pad. It is a big red button that you are hammering. Tell us about life as the button presser and as the horn presser who quite often leans into that.
Yeah, just checking. You guys can hear me okay now?
Oh,
yes.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Tech issues. Always fun in the morning here. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, the guy who presses the red button. So yeah, game presentation manager. So kind of the guy up top, kind of helping direct the show, fan engagement, just reading off fan energy and stuff like that. And obviously the goal horn is a big part of that on all goals, and just kind of going with the vibe of the crowd there. So like you guys know, the goal horn is kind of all in the moment, the feel, the moment, all that kind of stuff. So it's a fun experience to kind of change it up a bit, just depending on the vibe.
We've talked on this show about how sometimes you'll do a bunch and you'll let it really go. And Brett Kulak's goal, the game winner, was 7. And you were really leaning on that. And typically you'll do you have like a style or anything? Because it seems like you'll do one long one and then you'll break it up. You'll do like, you play diamonds. You'll do like a whole note for a measure and then couple of quarter notes, then mix in some eighth notes, and you'll end up getting like 5, 6 plus. It was 7 for Kulak, but is there any strategy for when it is a big one?
No, not really. It's like I said, it's all in the moment. Kind of like those big goals, overtime goals, kind of like the LA game, game 2 in round 1. Kind of let it rip there too. So just in the moment, because obviously you're pushing the button on the goal, kind of, and then you kind of have traffic coming in from scorekeepers, so we can communicate to our PA announcer Alan Roach, so he has goal traffic. So kind of feels going, kind of taking everything in. You're just kind of going with the goal horn there. So it's all just honestly just kind of in the moment. It kind of seems like my kind of standard is like hit that long first one, some 2 in the middle, and then 1 long one at the end there. But it all changes. It all just all moment there.
So I've seen a lot of people talk about what they think is the craziest. Did we lose Brandon? Yep, there we go.
Nope,
we've seen people. I've seen Avs fans talk about what they think was the craziest horn they've ever heard. And I think that's a very fun part and a unique part of like the Avalanche fan experience is like, no. This one was the craziest. Do you have one in your head that you're like, damn, I kind of went off with that one?
For me, probably that game 2, just because it's my first overtime game, that game 2 in the LA series, just that Nick Waugh goal just in the moment. Just kind of let it rip there. And there was a funny part on that one, was kind of letting it go. And then I was focusing on other things. Honestly, in the moment, kind of forgot my hand was on the horn there and win a couple extra seconds and took it off. But just made it better for the atmosphere, because we try to watch, because we have our goal celebration's great with our hey, hey, hey. So we want Avs faithful to take it stuff. So we don't want to hold it too long, because we want to get to our song and kind of let the fans take it and kind of get replays going and stuff, and just let the energy and atmosphere kind of build there. So it's all kind of watching and stuff like that. But yeah, that game was fun. That game 1 against Minnesota, the 9 goals, I think the 9 News, Scotty G recorded. I hit it 43 times. So that one was just kind of fun, was trying to, in the moments, different ways of hitting it and stuff like that. But especially in rival series like Minnesota, just kind of gets a little extra sometimes.
I think that the one that because this is the second time that we've had to address or have had the pleasure of addressing the Avalanche goal horn. I want to say that the first one that really grabbed our attention was the Landeskog goal. After Landy scored his first goal back, I think that one was bananas. Was that you?
So that one was actually my boss on that one. I was up there when he hit it, and he just let it rip. And it was one of those moments we knew it was coming. I mean, Landy coming back, we knew if he scored, it was going to be a big one, just because, I mean, Avs faithful has been waiting for that moment for 3 years. And when he put that in that place, that was probably top 3 moments, the loudest I've heard it in Ball Arena. So that, and then a couple nights ago with the overtime winner, that's another moment that's just, that crowd was just electric, and just the goal horn added so much to it. So it was fun.
When you're playing by feel, there's always the danger of going overboard or misreading the moment. Have you ever hammered the horn and been like, maybe a little too much there?
No, it's like in the moment you think about it after and stuff like that. But I say we're always watching the ref, because we never want to hit the goal horn early or something like that. So we're always watching the ref. Once that ref points goal, we're letting it rip. But yeah, it's all moments. So I mean, there's an empty net goal, we know we can go kind of a little off of it. But yeah, if it's a big overtime goal and stuff, we know the game's over, so it gets a little extra juice there. But not any moments like that. I think it's gone overboard. It's just fun to be able to improvise on the fly and just go off vibe.
Do you know what your personal record is? Or do you even hold the Avalanche record for like how many times you've pressed it? And I do see a little Mike Breen in this whole thing, right? Where, do you know Mike Breen, the great basketball announcer? Where he'll yell, bang, for a big 3. And sometimes he'll do bang, bang. And famously, he did the triple bang for Steph Curry, I believe, in the NBA Finals. Is there like a threshold where you're like, all right, if it's a big enough thing, I'm going 5, or I'm going more than that? I think the most we've counted for you was Kulak at 7. What is your record, though? And Is there any? Did you learn from Mike Breen?
So, no, I wish I could say that, but no, it's honestly that news story that came out. I mean, it got the goal horn kind of gained traction here with 9 News and our anchor Scotty G kind of keeping track of how long I was hitting the goal horn and how many times. It was kind of analytics I never really thought about on the goal horn, just because it is all in the moment, all kind of stuff like that, and that's what makes it so fun. But yeah, I seeing his numbers and seeing, I think the longest he said I held it was like 8 seconds and like 6 or 7 hits on the horn. So yeah, it's interesting to hear that now. It's just something I've never thought of in the moment, so it's kind of interesting to hear.
I mean, Cup final. You're going to the Cup final. Cup final. You gotta. Would you do double digits? Like you just do like a
double
and then just fucking get to like the first one a little shorter and then just fucking get to work.
Or just lean on that thing and don't get off it.
If the Avalanche take a delay of game penalty because you were just cooking, that would fucking rock, and I would pay the fine.
Do you ever have intrusive thoughts of like when an official is announcing a penalty to just fucking drown him out?
Like, fuck this.
No. I think our fans let them know on calls, but no, yeah, it's Stanley Cup final if we get there. I mean, going to Western Conference Finals is fun now, so just giving it just like I said, all in the moment kind of stuff. I mean, if there's ever a Stanley Cup overtime, I mean, the crowd's gonna take that, but yeah, giving the horn there would be a fun experience just to hear in the atmosphere. But yeah, that's like I've said, broken record, but just in the moment, just you kind of don't have time to think. Goals can happen any second, so it kind of goes in and you're just going. So yeah.
Chad asked this: when you watch other games, is it hard to take yourself out of it and not judge the horn pressers?
No, it's kind of interesting because in Game Press it's fun. I had the opportunity to go to different buildings and kind of hear their stuff, and it's fun to kind of take yourself out of the game and kind of watch the show, their goal horn celebration and stuff like that. So it does, you kind of listen to it. Some arenas go longer with their horn and they just go cut right to their music. The fan celebration has kind of become a big part across the league and arenas. So kind of just hearing the different styles and stuff like that, it's always fun to just kind of hear and take notes of kind of what other teams are doing. But no other arenas have really stuck out. I know ours is a pretty popular one just because, like I said, it's never consistent. It's always kind of something different, so it just makes it fun.
How much control do you have over your sound and your tone? Like a lot of guys might want like a big pedal board, have control over exactly how they want to fine tune that horn, or is the producer just like, we're locked into this, you'll play what we write?
Yeah, so we have our A1 controlling all the sound and stuff, but our goal horn's the compressor system, so we turn that on, it just kind of goes. So but yeah, I kind of trust our A1s and our DJ. They kind of control sound levels on everything else, but yeah, that goal horn kind of stays consistent.
I really want you to get like too big for your britches and be like, I'm on the news. Podcasters are tripping over themselves, interrupting Baha Men talk to get me on. I want it to be, I need a little like, I want control over the EQ. I want a different horn altogether. I've got ideas that would blow your entire mentalities. And then there's like a big falling out between you and the team. People stop rooting for the Avalanche. It's a whole thing.
Do you feel mounting pressure as the most famous goal horn guy in the league now? Like if you screw up, everybody's going to know that it's attached to you, and no other team in the NHL can say that.
No, I'm having fun. It's my first full year in the Game Press show calling, so just kind of having fun with it. But yeah, the Game Press side of kind of just being in the atmosphere and the crowd and stuff, just like queuing in like pumper videos, having fun with the crowd. I mean, Ball Arena has been a party all year. Just the team has been so electric. So yeah, it's always fun. Our department and stuff is always coming up with new fun ideas. I mean, if you guys have seen our intro walk, Gangsters Paradise, the team that has kind of taken off with the team walking out in the tunnel. and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, it's something I never thought with all the news stories and I mean the podcast. It's been fun talking about it and getting exposure on it, and just kind of realizing how much fun the fans are having with it. Across the league is with it, so it's been a blast.
Well, you obviously are the best at what you do, because all kidding aside, multiple places are observing this and being like, what is it about that horn and who is behind it? And they've got some sort of touch that just, that they say with like guitar playing and stuff, that like the true sound is in the fingers. You can get the same pedals and same guitars as the next guy and the same amp, but he's going to sound like him or her because of what they're doing. And I truly think you have that touch.
For real, like they say the best guitar players serve the song.
Oh, yeah, you definitely
serve
find the
moment. And that's why the Avs goal horn is the best in the league. So you are the best.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. And like I said, yeah, like you guys have touched on, it's just keeping that touch with it. Like you never want to go overboard with it every single goal. It's just picking those moments and the atmosphere and stuff. That's what makes it so special. So yeah, I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. I'm glad Avs Faithful continues to have a blast with it. So it's been fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming on with us. I think you're going to get a lot more opportunities to hit that thing. And you're obviously in a zone right now. We really... If it gets to 10, I don't know what we'll do, but keep up the good work, friend.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me on, and go Avs.
All right. That is Brandon Mestis, the Colorado
Thanks,
Avalanche game presentation manager. What a stud. Sean, did you learn anything?
Well, I did go look up the game 2 while overtime winner that he was talking about, and he does lay into that thing. He was not wrong.
Do we have a video of that? That'd be...
I do.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give it to me.
Room for Manson. Wrist shot blocked again in front. Score!
1.
Wah! Wins it!
2.
The Avalanche survive in overtime.
Holy shit. That was only 5.
That was
but
6.
That
but
was
that was
the sixth one was crazy.
That was the
That's
longest.
Damn.
Wow.
Also,
He
that
said
is
he
a
forgot he had his hand on it.
that is a shining example of how bad ESPN's audio is, because the crowd was so muted there. I mean, we got to hear the horn, but like for Brandon to feel the energy in that building and to honk that 6th one as long as he did, couldn't really feel that through the game mix.
Yeah,
because the crowd was pretty muted.
The first time I listened to that, I was like, I don't know, someone says it's a long, and you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? And you're sitting there, and it really did not stop. That was, I understand why that would be his most memorable one.
That was very, very good.
What a cool job, man.
Yeah, right. Amazing. All right. Can you give me the slate, Sean? We don't have any games tonight, but we do have... I'm going to go see Robbie Hoffman tonight. Very excited to do that.
I may also do that.
Yes. I have extra tickets and trying to give them to Pete. Saturday, May 16th, we've got a no longer pivotal, a do or die game for the Buffalo Sabres in Montreal. 8 p.m. ET. You can catch that on ABC. And at 7 p.m., you get game 2 of Charge Victoire. Charge got to get this one. Victoire at home, coming off last night's game 1 winner. This is a big one. Let's run through some super chats. From Masha. Whatnut Meetup 240526 Freeborg for IIHF Worlds. We will not be there no matter what, but that does sound really fun. Cody Bedford, I did see Ivar Stenberg roughing up Darnell Nurse. Cross-checked him. Bad behavior.
Darnell Nurse, future Ottawa Senator.
Yep. Oh,
we weren't invited to this. This is a whatnot meetup. They didn't say anything about
True. Cody Bedford says, don't forget the Panthers got swept in the second round after winning the President's Trophy prior to going to 3 straight finals. Yes, I was thinking this when I saw that pop up, that there's a little bit of that, although Chris Knobloch voice, RIP, could ask the Buffalo Bills what how much experience means.
I forgot about that, to be quite honest with you.
True.
Now I'm mad at Chris Knobloch again.
Rustache says, scared for a sex standing ovation jinxed Dobej. Yeah, no, that was fine. That was a really cool moment to observe in real life. The love of your life says, do you think Twitter is bad? If you think Twitter is bad, you should have heard me talk about the scum of the earth, Mike Matheson chat. I hate that guy.
Jesus Christ. After a win, the love of your life comes in as like, we're one win away from the Eastern Conference Final, but fuck Mike Matheson.
David Carlson,
God
yes,
bless you.
brother. Choosing positivity today because this year brought me what chaos. Thank you, boys and whatnuts. Chaboy ain't going anywhere, but may turn down my Jean-Ralphio dial. Damn.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Booyakasha says...
What?
Nope.
What?
No, Barthez Battalion you skipped.
Oh, Barthez Battalion says, preteen me thought Theodore freezing over the gargoyles on his mask when he went to Colorado was the coolest thing in history. That was really cool. Booyakasha says, the last 3 years was the most I've enjoyed hockey since when I played as a kid. I love this show so much. Still can't believe the Wine Actually Boys started a hockey podcast. Yeah, man.
Booyakasha!
We love it. Not to redo Monday's episode, but yeah, Pete and I, on Sunday morning, we were having breakfast being like, God, I love doing this fucking show with you. How the fuck did we find Sean? This shit fucking rules. Rustache says, Wild Av series was actually the conference final. Might have been. Galaxy55 says, do you guys have any Edition X What Chaos merch updates? Apologies if I missed it before. You guys are the best. Derek designed a whole new line. We gave, as with the first one, we gave some like, wouldn't it be cool if we had this kind of thing? And then shut the fuck up for 2 weeks. And Derek has made some insane stuff.
That is the best part of working with Edition guys because there is no box. And if you're like, wouldn't it be sick if we did this? They're like, we'll find a way to do that.
And Derek fucking, because Derek is our friend and and observes and consumes the podcast, he's like, I want to see what the line is if these guys have a line for that's too out there. And we generally don't, which my hat selection can tell you that. So Derek is
you do have a
perfect
line.
for us.
The line is good.
Yeah, true. The line is, would people want this? But the thing is, like, even the like some of the wild shit that I say, like, hey, like we should do this or whatever, we should have this. Like, there's always people in the chat that are like, please fucking do that. And that's why we love you.
Megan Stagg says, hockey talk on my Baha Men lyrical analysis podcast. I really do like the format of blank on my blank
hockey
podcast.
Talk on my blank podcast.
Yes. Hit the Apple Podcast feeds and give 5-star reviews saying some sort of version of that. The Rustache back says, who let the dogs out furry anthem, actually. Eve Marie says, salutations from Ottawa, Sean. I felt sorry for you after the defeat of your KD team, but I got over it quickly. What's the KD team?
I believe Eve was at the watch party in Montreal from Ottawa. They pointed out that the Sabres jersey has big Kraft dinner, like Kraft mac and cheese vibes.
Gotcha.
And it's not wrong. It is quite similar blue and yellow.
What do we got? Dose of Serotonin says, thank you for being a treat after long revision days as I prepare for my immunology final. You make it all a bit more bearable. Hell
Fantastic.
yeah.
Magnifique.
The Lady Julep says, Brandon, would you say the feeling of pressing the button is worth $100? Asking for a friend. What's that all
With
about?
a leaf.
Remember the Leafs? The add-on experiences where you could pay to like have dinner in the locker room and press the goal horn.
Excellent super chat. Excellent
that was a great
super chat.
callback.
I'm sorry that we didn't get to that when Brandon was on. Claire Bear learned today that how do you say Manon
Man, I do not know. Riom was named GM of the PWHL team in Detroit. I have cried a little when I read the news. She's been such a leader in the game, and this is a great full circle moment. Anyway, go PWHL.
I do apologize for not knowing how to say that name because I know she played goaltender for the Tampa Bay Lightning, first woman to appear in an NHL game.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. This picture.
Nat Singleton says, Allez Victoire, Montreal in 3. Game is at 2 p.m.
Did you see how that game ended last night?
I did not.
Well, first off, the Victoire tied it with like 13 seconds left or something like that to send it to overtime, and then I want to say Gosling scored a goal with her head to win it in overtime. It was kind of fucking
Rule of cool.
Rule of cool. Charlotte Adams says, "How do I watch wine? Actually, no video of it. No video.
Oh yeah, you can't watch it.
Yeah."
You can listen to it.
Although you can watch your wine intake, which is what I started doing eventually after that.
After that episode.
Stephanie Mills says, "No reason. I just love you guys. Hell yeah.
Love you
we
right
appreciate you so much. We owe you Patreon stuff, and we're going to begin chipping away at it this weekend."
I'm also considering getting back to writing a little bit this weekend. I might do a little newsletter type thing at some point. Definitely want to talk about Daisy Jones in the Six. I think we want to do that on an episode, and maybe I want to write about it as well.
Talk about Eddie's bitch ass.
Yeah, Eddie fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. I didn't write any of the songs or do anything, and I was the rhythm guitar player in a band, which is not a super important part. And I said to the songwriter, and only reason we were famous, I write the riffs.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
I get that Billy's the talented one. He's the front man, but like, why?
And he has all the
why does he get
ideas.
all the credit? Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Eddie.
Eddie sucked.
I hope you die.
Shout out Karen though.
Yes. I am also, Sean, I played a little bit of Forza in the wee hours of the morning last night, and that game fucking rocks. I'm very excited to play more of that. I'll probably write a little bit about that if I get to a newsletter. Going to do a little bit of playoff notebook stuff. So Patreon will be bussin' this weekend. Patreon.com/whatchaos. If you're not on there yet, thank you. And anything else?
No. We will see you. You might hear from us at some point, depending on what happens with Game 6, but that's to be determined. I will say, Sean, the What Chaos Instagram is preparing right now.
Oh yeah. I mean,
the photos are
that's
being
fine.
collected. The video screen grabs are being made. I laughed out loud at one that I made.
Oh, I'm very
that
excited.
I
am
see
looking
if I
forward
can-
to it, but it's not going to hurt my feelings because I know that I was the last one to get mine, so that makes it a little easier to swallow.
Oh, DJ's showing me. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh boy.
Fuck you, Sean. Bye, everybody. Love you.
Fuck you too.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.